Alrighty. Well everyone, hello and welcome to the Heineken Experience, birthplace of Heineken. Inside you're going to learn a couple of things, a lot of things actually. First of all, you're going to learn about the history of Heineken, about how Heineken is made, and of course what Heineken tastes like. But I guess most of you guys already know this, that's why you're here, right? So, inside there are a few awesome things as well. For example, the historic brew room. Those big kettles you can see from outside, a couple ones, those are here of course. There's also a brand new attraction called the Brew You Ride, opened up just a month ago. That's where you guys are going to be brewed into a beer, bottled and distributed around the world. Lots of fun. Now, as you may have noticed, the entire tour is in English. So if you don't understand English and want to do the tour in your own language, there is an audio guide. You can download the application on your smartphone. It's called Heineken Experience. Okay? And there's a few different languages. You can listen to the tour in your own language. Now, the entire tour is self-guided, which means that I'm not coming with you. You guys are going on your own through the experience. Now, of course, there are guides inside explaining things about the specific room they are in. Now, lastly, you've also been given a green bracelet, if I'm correct, or a red one if you're under 18. Those red bracelets have tokens on them. Don't put them off, because you'll lose them, and they're worth beers. So, you know, don't want to lose these guys. These guys are worth beers in the bar downstairs, 2 each. Cool. Have fun. Enjoy the tour.
We have like a canal and
yes.
the lookout.
At what time do we have?
Alright guys, so welcome to the border in Amsterdam. So what do you think is falling down over here? Rice? Can you make rice? Can you make beer out of rice? Alright, so it's actually barley what's falling down over here. Where you're standing right now, this is really the old brewery. We used to brew the Heineken beer over here. And in this spot we used to malt the barley. And malting the barley means that we're going to add a little bit of water, heat it up till the barley will start to sprout. But over the years Heineken was increasing. So these silents didn't have a purpose anymore. And that's the reason why Dutch architect changed it. So what happened right now was that the malted barley that came to the brewery was pumped up to the roof and stored in these silents. And as you can see, one silent is like 20 meters high. So we are able to make with one silent more than 450,000 glasses of beer. And in this room you already see 8 silents, but that's not enough. In the whole brewery there used to be 30 of them. So you can imagine the capacity we could make over here back in the days was quite impressive. And this is how we used to look like back in the days. There used to be malted barley everywhere over here. But it was also quite dangerous to work here. Because when you were standing underneath a silent and the malted barley came down, you could literally drown in it. But that never happened, so don't worry. So guys, if you walk with me, I will show you a few things about the great history. Okay guys, so over here you can see how we used to bottle back in the day. One on the side of it, close it, fill the Heineken beer and then seal it. But it was a really heavy man job to do this all day, and you should be really strong. With this machine, we can bottle around 1,200 bottles per day.
Oh, sorry.
Right now, we got a brewery, which is really close to Schiphol Airport, and we can bottle over there more than 670,000 bottles per hour. Trust me, that's a lot of man hours for this one, you don't want to forget. So here in Amsterdam, we always bottle ourselves, but for the rest, we make use of these local agencies. And if you just look behind you, you can see two types of bottles over there. And the local agencies that are so proud to bottle for Heineken is that they created their own bottle and even put their own name on it. And that's the one on the left, the blue one. It is actually a soda bottle. And one of the biggest threats of beer is lighting, because it will influence the taste and the quality. So this is one of the reasons why Heineken started to invest in their own bottle production, because of the consistency and the quality of the beer. So the last story is just behind me over here. Is there anyone here from America? No one? Yes, where are you from? New Jersey? Okay, cool. So around the 1920s, 1930s, people weren't able to consume or to brew alcohol in America. You had the prohibition days. But President Roosevelt, he was against this ban, so he wanted to mix it up. And his exact words were, "This is the perfect time to have Heineken right now." But the newspapers, they referred to something different. They said, "It's the perfect time to have a beer right now." And he said, "Let's wait." So what happened? This great competition started between all the different brewers, because everybody wanted to be the first one who was able to bring the beer from Europe back to America again. And of course, guys, we want to tell you the story if Heineken wasn't the first one who was able to bring the beer back to America. After 6 days, they arrived in New Jersey, cranky girls, and in New Jersey with loads and loads of Heineken beer on. So guys, they're standing right now, this is the born in Amsterdam. It's saying, born in Amsterdam, we are raised by the world. So you will find that there are 60 to 70 years of great history over here. If you want to continue the tour, you can do it upstairs. We will have one of the local parties. And of course, there will be beer next to you guys. So cheers guys, have fun with it.
Potete Gustavo non è venuto. Vado al mix,
Here you go guys, so we're gonna
Ale? No, non sale. Ho avuto figa Valesi, è diventato farolo il 60°.
Alright guys, what do you think is falling down over here? Not there yet, I mean, you're on. Great.
No, Ale, se fa 10 invece
It's very exciting right now, it's really cool.
There's one of the silos where they used to store their barley.
Zo mezelf, dat maakt een verschil.
Huh? No, those ones are expensive like beer. They will cost you €8. €8? 80. 80. 80. No.
I hope you are enjoying your visit. I am joining you from By now, you know that my great grandfather in our family founded the company in
Er wordt tot bier gebouwd zometeen.
My grandfather and my father continued to grow the company when my family and I are committed to continuing its proud independence. The Heineken brand
Ja, maar dat er een rode niet op staat. Rode logo.
An uncompromising passion for the quality of our beer, from the ingredients we use to how we brew and bottle. Great respect for people and cultures and for the world in which we live. And that's why today we try to reduce the impact we have on the planet. And the social commitment to the responsible enjoyment of the By focusing on these core values, we continue to ensure a sustainable future for our company, our employees, and our shareholders. On behalf of the Heineken family and all those who work for Heineken around the world, thank you for your visit. We hope that you enjoy drinking Heineken as much as we enjoy knowing you. Hello, welcome to the Heineken experience and to Amsterdam, the home of Heineken. I hope you are enjoying
Dus iets van Heineken.
No, it's this. No, yeah, well, these are fixed. Yeah, this is hot. This is your.
You look very pretty.
Sorry?
You look very pretty under fashion.
I look very pretty. Thank you. I needed that today. If anyone else would like to give me a compliment, you are welcome. Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, who's new, who's old? Here. And I don't mean age, I mean with the story, because I'm going to tell the exact same story. It's very boring. Some people have already heard it.
Ja.
Welcome, sir. Where are you from?
Brazil.
Brazil. Bem-vindo. There, this is the end of my Portuguese. It's all samba, it's also better than me. Okay guys, welcome to the quality from the start. This is the part where you learn how to make a Heineken beer. So pay attention and maybe one day you can do it yourself. Now all you need to make a Heineken beer is just 4 ingredients. Can you guess one?
Water.
Very good, sir. 10 points for Brazil. Water is one of them, and the rest is barley, hops, and yeast. Very conveniently, they were put behind me. So first of all, we need water. Now, how much water do you need? How much water is in a Heineken? So if you drink a beer,
Maybe 98%.
that's pretty close, actually. It's 95%. So yeah, a lot of water. Yeah, so you can imagine if your water's not going to be good, you're going to taste that in the beer. So, in order to get the purest and softest water we can find, we purify it ourselves using reverse osmosis, which is just a fancy word for cleaning the water. And once we have the best water, we add the barley. Now, barley is a cereal we find in France. Over there is a picture of the beautiful French countryside. And we use the barley seeds and we slightly roast them. And by slightly roasting the seeds, we change the color of the beer. The longer you roast the seeds, the darker your beer will become. And Heineken is a golden color, so we only slightly roast the seeds. If you roast it longer, then you get a darker beer. But we don't want that. Then we crush them open, revealing the powder. And then we add water to the mix and we raise the temperature to about 78 degrees Celsius. And at this temperature, the starch in the cells starts to get busy and they start to create sugar. And that sugar is what we need to create wort, which is a liquid, basically sugar and barley water. And we filter all of the seeds, and in this wort, the wort kettle now, we add the hops. This ingredient, and now the cooking really begins. So we raise up the temperature and we throw in all these hops, and these hops we find in Germany and the Czech Republic, and because we throw these in, the flavor changes quite a bit. The more hops you add, the more bitter your beer will become. Do you think Heineken is very bitter? Not really, huh? No, we don't use that many hops. IPAs use a lot more, for example. It also creates the white foam layer on top of your beer. Because we use the female part of the plant that contains lupulin and acts as a natural preservative, increasing the shelf life of a Heineken beer without the need to add anything artificial. So we keep it all natural. And that's been cooking and brewing, and now we have a very hot, steamy, bittersweet tea mixture, which sounds delicious, I know. It's not really what we're after. So how do we go from that mixture to a Heineken beer? Yeast, very good. Last but not least, we add the yeast. And the yeast is basically a Pac-Man, a one-celled organism, and it basically eats the sugar of the wort, and it transforms that sugar into carbon dioxide and alcohol. Because it's an organic process, it takes a while, 28 days to be exact, so a whole February needs to lay in a tank. And after 28 days of layering, we filter out all of the impurities, we open up the tap, and out comes a nice Heineken beer. Very good, everybody. Now, if you're very thirsty and you don't have 28 days, just remember you can always buy it in the shop. Downstairs we have a lot too. So, guys, next door you can try some of the wort I mentioned earlier. If you have any questions, please let me know, and otherwise enjoy the rest of the Heineken experience. Okay? Thank you very much, sir.
Je kunt het lekker warm.
T'as le magasin où les animaux là.
What is this? To taste. feest.
Was niet lekker toch?
Niet lekker.
Não é bom não.
Não?
Quer?
Olha,
É bom?
ah, não é ruim também não.
Ou não é muito?
Tem gosto de ração.
Dat is er niet dus.
Hã?
Die staan in de vriezer.
So they're show hostess. So they participate in lots of competitions and shows and events. And then also every day they'll go out with that cart, go throughout look pretty, get some exercise. So a couple of times we've been the entirety of Ashland already drinking. Never a little bit of extra thing. So yeah, that's what they do mostly. And we've got six athletes, 6 full-time players. No, I wish. Yeah. The coolest thing was when there was 5 of them a while ago. Then 2 of them, or 4 of them would get exercised by the carriage, and then the 5th one would be ridden on the saddle in Oval Park, which is the very large park we have is a few blocks over. So just imagine being on one of those huge horses and like going through Oval Park, all the tourists and all the junkies looking at you. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that. No, I've actually never even ridden horses. I really like to do that. Have you guys? Extensively or extensively or yeah, I have a couple of great
You will get beer.
Alright, everybody. Yes, 2 minutes in the club. And that means one thing only. You're gonna have the best 2 minutes of your life with me. Because what's gonna happen, I'm gonna explain everything you need to know. We're gonna brew you into your favorite beer called Heineken. So, we're gonna brew in process with your 4 favorite ingredients, the barley, the water, the hops, and the egg yeast. Then we're gonna butter you up, and then we're gonna drink you. Because we're gonna do a tasting, but not just some tasting. We are gonna do a beer tasting. We're gonna teach you how to drink a beer. Because you thought you knew, but you know nothing. But don't worry, that's what I'm here for. We're gonna teach you how to drink a beer, and afterwards you're gonna go to the big bar, get some 2 big beers so you pay attention. Can you represent the love for Heineken? Can you not? You gotta make me cry, and I gotta cry, so I don't wanna have it, okay? I got one more question. Please let me know if you have epilepsy or claustrophobia, or if you're pregnant. I don't know, you can understand. Because we do have a lot of items over there, and you can see straight to the bar. And if you see the beer, I understand one thing you always want to lie. Don't scream, okay? It's just beer. Don't be so dramatic. And don't run. I see it. Those are runners. I see you looking. I see it in your eyes. So please continue to line up all the way. And one of my colleagues can take you and continue. Yes, let's continue. Please don't eat. If you have any food, give it to me because I'm very hungry. Okay? Yes, you can continue.
Yes, guys, you can answer.
Ik ga helemaal niet mee.
Wat? Wat zei je?
Ik ga helemaal vooraan.
Maar dat is gewoon shit. Let's just drop.
Moeten we zitten?
Welcome guys, here you go. Hello, is it on? This way, please guys.
And we're so amazed, we admire this beer so much that we say together. Come on guys. Thank you very much. Then we go on. What do we see? We see a golden color because we slightly roast the malted barley. If you would roast it for a longer time, you get a darker beer, so a darker color. And we can also see the tiny little bubbles from the carbon dioxide. You see it? Little bubbles, they're going up. They're protecting the freshness of the beer. So if you drink these carbon dioxide bubbles, they make you say, okay, at the end of every sip. There's also oxygen, you're not able to see it, but there is, it's trying to enter your glass. There's this little foam layer protecting the oxygen from entering and the bubbles from escaping. So guys, it's a good thing, this foam layer. A lot of people that come here on holidays, they think, Dutch ripple, they give you so much foam and not beer. Yes, is that true? Yes, for some people that's true. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing, the foam layer, I'll promise you. Stay tuned, we're going to smell together, and what we do always put our pinky up, and we pretend that we know a lot from beer, and we smell. And what do we smell? We smell the bitterness from the hops and the fruitiness from the yeast, from the leftovers from the yeast called the ester. Some people say that they smell banana. I never smelled it, but my boss made me say so. Then we go to the third step, the most important step, we go to drink. But we're in Holland, and we do have our own language called Dutch. And there's a word for cheers in Dutch, and that's over there on the wall. Proost. P-R-O-O-S-T. Proost. Yes? On my count of 3, okay? Yes, it's the end of the weekend, we're gonna scream it. 1, 2, 3. Proost! Thank you very much. Take a good sip from your Heineken, and you can come with me, guys, because here you can take your time and finish your Heineken in the corner at the bar. Thank you very much for your attention. You can finish your meals over here. And have a good Sunday evening. Thank you.
Muito achão. Meu Deus, nossa senhora. Eu não gosto de cerveja.
Ela tem um sabor diferente da cerveja do Brasil mesmo.
Quê?
Ela tem um sabor diferente da Heineken no Brasil.
É? Aqui é melhor?
Eu achei melhor.
É, aqui era melhor, né? Essa aqui
Give it some fat, yeah? This is fresh beer. It's not bottled or anything and sent to different countries. This is fresh from this place.
Sim.
Hebben we nog?
Vamos lá?
Have to try one of the other ones. This one is not working. But you can make your own beer bottle with your own name or.
Sorry.
Eles fazem garrafa personalizada, é isso? 3,50?
Uma de nato? Uma com teu nome.
Mas onde que eles ficam?
Eu não sei. Você quer? Eu vou perguntar pra você. Quer? Olha, é o português.
Digite seu texto na garrafa, pode pagar o cartão de crédito débito. Mas como que será que fica a garrafa? Fica com nome? Uma garrafa com nome?
Ja, maar hoe moet je dit doen? Wacht, we doen het wel Nederlands. Er staat niet in. Typ je gewenste tekst op de A4.
So like you want to write your name or anything?
Dat ken ik aan.
So you have two kinds. You have this and that one. É 6,50, daí eu escolho qual.
Yeah. 2 en 10. En toch 2 is voor
Yeah, for 2 you pay 10, and for 1 you pay 6,50. Depends on which one you want. But I think it's only credit card. Mas se pegar duas tem que ser o mesmo texto nas duas, né? Vou pegar uma só, pegar essa daqui.
Quer isso?
Tem pearls. Yeah, name on your credit card number. So this is name of your credit card, this is credit card number, and nome? Yeah.
Hay que pagarla, ¿eh? No lo sé, pero yo creo que es demasiado. Ah, no va tampoco.
¿Un medio?
¿Veis? Hay una tarjeta de crédito y todo. Y bueno.
Joder.
Draufschreiben noch oder so? Nou, ook nog van de
Ja.
Agora você tem que esperar. You can put tape on it.
Tá sendo feito. E onde que pega?